up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Super Gamer Boys. I am your host and captain and dad, Garrett Morling, and here in the virtual studio with me is the nerd dad himself, Zetch Keenan.
Hello! All my, Garrett and JJ. If you guys were RTX versions, I'd call you GTX and JTX.
Cool. Cool.
I thought right off the top of my head, but you didn't think that.
I thought you were going to say,
scripted.
Welcome to all my adoring fans or something, and you stopped. Welcome to all my JJ and Garrett.
That was me chasing a thought rabbit.
That was
going one way and with the other.
Fantastic. And also joining us today, as Zetch mentioned just a second ago, is the one, the only, JJ Purdom.
What's up, gentlemen? I'm coming to you from the cave today. I have created a cave that I'm doing the podcast from, and I believe I might be frozen right now. I'm not really sure if what you're seeing on the screen is me with a cheesy grin, and that's awesome because I know now that I'm going to be frozen like this through the entire show. So what I've chosen to do is I've just now taken all my clothes off, and I'm flipping off both of you guys, and I'm going to see if I can hold that the whole time.
JJ, it's
cool.
not frozen anymore.
Okay.
No,
I was lying. I was lying. I didn't take all my clothes off, but I do want to.
No, JJ, we can see you did in fact take your clothes off, and no, just kidding.
I noticed that just smiling a lot right now.
That real light just hitting all your features, man.
Yes, in a not very good way. I appreciate that backhanded compliment. Thank you so much.
I love seeing those features.
Oh man. So, guys.
Is that a reference to my nipples or something?
Oh boy.
Crystal.
Okay.
Boy, speaking of nipples, if you guys haven't, you need to go check out our bonus episode from last week, the BioShock Super Gamer Book Club. JJ talks like for a good 20-30 minutes about his pancake nipples.
And it wasn't that long, but it felt like that long.
Yes, it did feel like that long. Well, once you get going talking about pancake nipples, it's hard to stop.
It's pretty
kind of like a Lay's potato chip. You can't. You're not me. Let me tell you, it's extremely hard to stop.
Oh man,
I have an addictive personality, my friend. That's
addicted to talking about pancake nipples.
I'm addicted to talking about anything about pancakes, anything nipples, anything nipple related. Yeah,
I love pancakes.
Oh, is that
it was ruined for me after the BioShock episode. It was really fun though. I had a lot of fun talking about BioShock, man. Like that was probably I've been podcasting for a few years. Not exclusively here, but that was one of my favorite episodes I think I've ever recorded. We were able to get really deep and fun, as Dan pointed out on Discord. We got really deep. No pun intended.
I know, that was fantastic. I was like, oh, he's smarter than us. That was fantastic. Because I think I put that in the episode description, and then when he said it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's really funny. But I totally went over my head when I wrote it out.
Oh, went over your head. Like the water in Rapture.
There you go. Yeah, I missed that one too. I'm an idiot, guys. If you notice too in that episode, a lot of times me and JD are just sitting there smiling and nodding our heads, and you and Adrian are just talking real smart about stuff. So if you want to hear awesome discussion about that, about BioShock, go support us for just $1 a month over at patreon.com/supergamerboys, and you guys can get that episode and then future episodes. Last Friday of every month, we're going to be releasing those. But we kind of got into Patreon a little early there, but how was your guys' previous weeks? Setch, what were you up to this last weekend?
I've been getting back into my 3DS.
Nice.
I've been gaming on my 3DS again. I picked up, ever since they announced that Nintendo's going to be ending their support for it, I was like, I gotta get all the games I wanted to get before it's all gone. So I still need to get Ocarina of Time.
Nice.
And I want to get Fire Emblem Conquest. Those are the last two that I want to get. And then, so if anybody has any other recommendations for me to get on there, send them my way, either on the Twitter or the Discord. But I picked up Samus Returns, Metroid 2's Samus Returns.
Okay. Have you started it yet? I guess I'll talk about it later, but yeah.
Yeah, I'll talk about it more later, but it's a remake. I've played through the original Samus Returns on the Game Boy.
Okay. So is it a remake of that game?
Yeah.
Okay. I knew it was kind of like a spiritual successor / remake of one of the older games, so I wasn't sure which one.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's Samus 2 or Metroid 2, Samus Returns, and this one is given the Final Fantasy 7R treatment. It adds on like a ton of other stuff, tons of really cool graphical enhancements. Like it doesn't feel like you're just playing through like a flat. Anyway, I love it. I can't wait to play more of it.
Nice.
And yeah. Oh, and Gloomhaven. We've been playing through. You guys ever heard that board game?
I saw on your Instagram. I've heard of it. Never seen it. Man. I saw you posting some stories about you guys playing it.
Dude, so me and my wife can't stop playing Gloomhaven. This board game is massive. It's the most intimidating board game I've ever played. And like it's like playing Fire Emblem. That's what it is. You each they have like a ton of different characters you select, and they level up from the start of the game all the way through to the end. There's like 95 different missions you can play. And then after you play all 95, you're done. You can't play anymore. But it takes us like a good hour and a half to 2.5 hours to get through a single mission.
Wow. So you play together. It's like a co-op game?
It's a co-op game. So you two versus the board. And each scenario is a different setup. And you have like a party. And then that party has like a goal. And then when that party achieves their goal, then you switch to different characters. So you can like level up your characters. The maximum level for characters like 9.
Okay.
I played through 2 missions so far, and I'm almost there to level 2. I picked a Crag Heart.
Okay. Don't know what that is.
It's like exclusive. It's like a different race. Like it's like just a race in the game. Huh. Like they have like different races, just like you would in like a Fire Emblem game, or not Fire Emblem specifically, but
Fire Emblem.
Different abilities they can do. Maybe more like a Shining Force, where you have different races and stuff. But
dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, JJ, what are you, man? I'm done. I'll stop talking now.
Well, so I had a really interesting week where I played a game that my grandfather taught my dad, and then my dad taught me, and then I had the privilege of being able to play that game with my 5-year-old daughter, Emma, this week, and we had a blast doing it, and it's now all she wants to play. It's called Pull My Finger. And so the way that this game works is you come up and you say, with your finger, pull my finger, and then when the person pulls your finger, you fart raucously. And so I taught my 5-year-old daughter this game, and I was like, there was tears in my eyes when I taught her this game, because I'm like, I passed this down through the generations, and I want it to continue. I mean, it's a family game. I don't know if you guys ever played it or not.
Never even heard of it. Never even heard of it.
It's a special thing, and I did get chastised for teaching her that game, because she's running around and very cutely telling everybody to pull her finger. And I got to tell you, the first 10, 15 times, it's hilarious. Like, really funny.
Yeah.
Like, really funny. And I can't blame it on anybody else. Everybody knows that I taught it to her. So, I mean, there's no, like, Lee, what did you teach your sister? I can't even pull that off without anybody just knowing that I'm full of crap. So, excuse me.
Wow, you did that while smiling. That was impressive.
Dang, and you left your eyes open the whole time too.
Oh no, did I freeze again?
Dude, you've been frozen the whole time.
Oh no.
We told you you're frozen. You're frozen with a big smile. You look good.
You know what? You go on one questionable website, and all of a sudden your internet doesn't work quite as well.
Virus.
You're full of Trojans and whatnot. Well, they said that it was totally safe click here, and obviously not. So
my word.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, good stuff.
Duly noted.
Stuff. Don't click the link that JJ sent us in Discord. Note to self. Oh man, cool guys. Glad you had good weeks. I'm excited to get going in the show. So
yeah.
Today we're talking about Xbox expanded storage cost, Konami classics on GOG, the Amazon Luna, and the Spider-Man remastered debacle. But first, let's give a quick shout out to our Super Gamer producer, Adrian Holmes. That's right, our Adrian Homeboy Holmes over there. He's the one we mentioned, joined us on that BioShock episode. It was a pleasure having him. He was fantastic. Like we said, way smarter than us. If you want to get more of him, go check out that episode over on our Patreon exclusive, patreon.com/supergamerboys. Also, shout out to our Patreon sponsors, Bill Bird, Julie Bates. That's my own grandmother. I mispronounced it. Bill Bird, Julie Bates, Dustin Long, Brent Fox, and Daniel James. Thank you guys so much for all the support, all the love, and for just being awesome. And all you other ones that we don't shout out here, check out on the show notes in the description. And your names are all listed, at least at the $5 above level. The $1 guys, sorry, you just have to know that deep down inside, all three of us really do love you guys. And you'll just, and that JJ like really, really loves you guys. Like,
oh no, I really look at this smile. These pearly yellows.
Look at that.
So I really love all of you. I especially love Adrian because he did say that I can come stay the night. You know, he laughed and thought I was joking, but I don't think he understands. Like I'm going to come to his house and eat everything in his fridge. So that's technically an oral agreement, Adrian. So when you say, of course you can come to my house and eat everything, like literally, I will take you to court if you try to tell me to leave. So
shoot,
you got it recorded.
Yeah. It is recorded. It is. I have all that evidence if you need it, JJ. And speaking of
legal document.
Speaking of Super Gamer Book Club, like we said, this week was BioShock, or this month. Next month, are we announcing it here? I know we talked about it on the Patreon exclusive episode, but for next month, so the last Friday of every month, we're going to be releasing these, and next month is Mass Effect 2. So if you are a huge fan of
If you're a huge fan of Mass Effect 2.
No. I was going to say the developer name. Like, whatever.
BioWare.
BioWare games, Mass Effect 2. You'll want to support us next month to get that episode. And at this point, we have a couple guests coming on. It's going to be Zetch, 2 surprise guests, maybe a 3rd surprise guest. We'll see. And that's something else we talked about more on the show. But JJ and I won't be part of it every single time because we don't have enough time in our lives to play through a whole video game every month. But you can look forward to seeing us in the future. But I'm excited for those surprise guests. We have some cool people coming on, and it's going to be a lot of fun talking about Mass Effect, or listening to you guys talk about Mass Effect. Cool. Let's get into the mailbag.
All right. Mailbag time, baby.
Oh, okay.
Okay, he added a bunch of words.
I remixed it.
Okay.
Just
remix.
Free flowing there. Just letting it all hang out. First question comes from Hophead Ed. That's right, the return of Hophead Ed. It's been a while. He disappeared for like months off Discord, and one day he's like, "I'm back."
Is he Hophead Ed because he likes hops? That
is like exactly why.
Stuff?
Exactly. Beer. Yep, he's a big beer head, I guess you could call him. I don't know if that's what they call him.
Maybe you could probably call him a hophead.
Oh, yeah, makes more sense, huh? Over on Discord, though, he writes in, "You have to kill one, adopt one, and spare one."
This was easy.
R2D2, C3PO, and BB-8. Okay, which one do you kill? Which one do you adopt? And which one do you spare?
I keep R2D2. I spare BB-8.
So adopt. You're adopting R2.
Yeah, whatever. Adopt, keep. Sure. I adopt him. Okay, there. But then I blow C-3PO out of an airlock. Like, he's gone. Get out.
Okay. So you're sparing BB-8. You're just like, you go do your thing.
He's gonna I mean, what's he gonna do? He's a mindless little.
So you really you weren't a huge fan of BB-8 in the new movies, huh?
He was in there for nostalgia. He was in there to get the youngsters,
okay.
The little kids. He's the Jar Jar Binks of the new generation.
Wow, I wouldn't go that far. What about you, JD? What would you do? Kill, adopt, and spare?
Okay, so give me the full which characters again? And,
R2D2.
I was checking Twitter, so I wasn't really paying attention when you talked.
I know that's the danger of your camera's frozen. We can't actually see what you're doing, so you can be literally not even be there. You could go home right now. We wouldn't even know.
Yeah, be thankful. Be thankful you can't see what's going on this end right now. Okay, so go ahead.
R2D2, C3PO, and BB-8. Which one do you kill? Which one do you adopt as your own? And which one do you spare and just leave to live their life in the world?
Okay, so this is a super nerdy version of Mary F. Kill.
Exactly.
Nice. Okay, so I would kill R2D2.
Bold
What?
choice. Bold choice. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. I would marry BC3PO.
Mary wasn't in the
You're
list.
adopting him. You're
Whoa.
Adopt, spare, kill.
Okay.
Adopt, spare,
Thank
kill.
God. Okay, because you knew where I was going next.
Oh, my word.
Well, I'm just saying. It goes without saying.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, I would have. Well, if you need me to say it, I will.
No. Kill, adopt, spare.
So-
What are you doing?
So BD1 would get adopted.
BB-8.
And then C3PO, I would. Was it spare?
Spare. Okay.
Spare.
Okay. Thank God, because I'd only spare him, but I'd spare the heck out of him. You know what I mean? I'd spare him so well.
Oh my
You don't have to-
gosh.
No.
What's happening?
Okay, are we not understanding that?
Yeah, I
we're
get
in
it.
one
I
tundra?
get it. Your point. I get it.
Okay, let me break the joke down, but I can explain it in more detail, and then it'll be fun. You don't? Are you sure?
Break the joke down. Thanks. We got it.
All right. Can I go? I think it's my turn. I think it's good if I talk now. I'm right there with you. I would definitely kill C3PO because he is the most annoying character ever. I can't stand him. But I would. I really love R2.
More annoying than Jar Jar Binks.
Not
Needs
that.
to go with soldiers.
Not that bad. Not bad. I don't think anything's as bad as Jar Jar.
Yeah, C3PO was at least useful.
Right. But as much as I love R2, I think I would just spare him and I would adopt BB-8 because I feel like BB-8. Because when I think of adopt, like, oh, okay, he's just like a little like droid pet thing almost, and I think my son would have more fun with the little BB-8 than R2. R2's kind of like how you have like a dog around your baby, like a big dog. Maybe it's like a dog that's like bit someone before, like just a little snippy. And you're a little worried about your kid. That's kind of how I feel about R2 because he kind of has an attitude. He has a little bit of an attitude, and I don't know how I'd feel like. You know, there's in the one move. Which one is it? He's like Zap Luke or something a couple times.
Ewok.
He's
Ewok wouldn't leave him alone.
Yeah, he zaps a lot of people, and it's like, you know,
He wouldn't zap a baby.
You don't know that.
I was gonna go with the dog.
Crying?
I was gonna go with the dog comparison too. BB-8 is like a freaking chihuahua that you just want to punt. Okay.
No, 100%.
But R2D2 is the really well trained pit bull that you want.
So you're saying you want to kick a dog? You say you want to kick a dog? I mean, I was talking about marrying and sparing some like robots.
Just to be clear,
you're wanting to
kick a dog or have kicked a dog?
Okay. Maybe we should move on to the next question
here. We're gonna get calls.
There's some things here maybe we shouldn't talk about or admit to.
I was asking a question. Just for clarification. Just wanted you to clarify.
So yeah, I would want BB-8 because I feel like I couldn't trust R2 with my kids at this point. Dan Jam Gent.
And you can trust BB-8?
Okay.
What is BB-8? BB-8's this is a dumb little soccer
ball. He's gonna run over your baby.
Yeah, but he's little.
Yeah, baby's gonna get head trauma. BB-8 wasn't paying attention. Pop.
Now my kid has to wear a helmet.
R2D2 would make sure nothing happens to him, protects him, keeps him safe. It's got pretty much. He's even got special compartments. He'd probably let the baby hang out in one of his.
So does BB-8. Remember, he carries all those.
You're gonna put a baby inside BB-8?
I'm not gonna put a baby inside R2 either.
But you could.
Okay. You never know. Like maybe the inside.
Travel like a stroller.
Little stroller.
There you go. See, utility.
Okay.
Bring you R2D2 with you to the grocery store. Make a little nice little spot for him. Rolls around in there. That'd make a dope stroller, like an actual stroller.
Okay.
A stroller that looks like an R2D2, like not actually is an R2D2.
I'm right on the edge.
Back.
Yeah.
Baby sits in the front.
I'm right on the edge there. I'm right on the edge there. You've almost convinced me, but I still don't trust R2. This next question here comes from Dan Jam Gent over on Discord. Which is the trashiest, most nonsensical game that you've played that you could not help but love?
Last of Us Part 2. I'm just kidding. I didn't love that game.
So yeah, what's a nonsensical game that you still absolutely adored and couldn't get enough of playing?
And it was it's supposed to be like a terrible game, or just like trashy, full of like just tons of expletives and.
So that's what I should have had him clarify it, because it could be like, he's from the UK. It could be trashy, maybe just not of high quality, or
Like
it could be trash.
pleasure?
Yeah, like it's just like, oh, it's not a good game. Like I know it's not a good game, but I love it, kind of thing. Or it could be what you said. Maybe it actually is a trashy game. I don't know what he means. I took it as just like a high, like it's not like, oh, I know it's like a garbage game in the sense like it's not well made or something, or maybe it's like just janky or made by a smaller developer, but I still love it.
Yeah, I would have taken that as being a game that basically isn't a great game, but that it's like a decadent pleasure. It's one of those things that like you like anyway. So if I went off of it in that way, I really love like Toe Jam and Earl. And I know like it's kind of crass and silly, but it's one of those games that like I play and I'm like, I know it's like eating a pizza from Little Caesars. You know that it's not good, but you just eat it anyway. Or maybe that's just me. Am I thinking more like a fat guy than you guys do? You guys don't think in terms of pizza, do you? Okay.
I think pizza
Maybe
all the
that's
time.
what
I'm always a singing of
Okay,
pizza. That's
all right.
just 24/7 for me,
Okay.
It's my favorite food.
because we're also a bunch of
Do you
children.
want a nice filet mignon dinner, or do you want this delicious Michael's pizza? Probably go with Michael's pizza. Same. Anyway, carry on.
Michael's Pizza, pretty good.
Letting it be known, pizza's my favorite food.
Boy, see, I had such a hard time with this because I don't know. Like, if I don't like a game, I don't know. I thought and thought and thought. I tried to prepare for this question ahead of time. I was like, I need to prepare for this. And I literally thought like the past 3 days, could not think of anything. The only thing I can come close to, and it's not trashy. Okay.
Oh, shots fired!
Okay.
Across the bow!
Okay.
Metal Gear Solid.
It's not trashy, but it's nonsensical. Is
Nonsensical.
Every
Played Death
game
Stranding
that's
30
ever-
video game.
no. Okay. Have you guys heard of have you played Among Us? It's like a newer game. It's like such a nonsensical, crazy game.
I've heard of it, but I
Yeah,
don't know anything about it.
I've been
Okay.
playing it with my son. He's fallen in love with it, and we've been playing it this week,
Yeah,
actually.
it's so stupid and so crazy and just so ridiculous, but it's so much stinking fun. And maybe like I'm totally misinterpreting his question here, but for me, like that's a not completely nonsensical game that I can't get enough of, and I've played a bunch with my buds. And yeah, to get like 10 people in, and there's the imposters, and you don't know who the imposters are, it's such a blast. It's like a modified version of like Secret Hitler kind of thing, or like you got to guess who the imposters, who the mafia, exactly, something like that. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun. I've been playing on Steam, but I think it's on phones as well, like mobile.
It's on mobiles and mobile devices, yeah.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, that's a game that I can't help but love. Like, it's so much stinking fun, even as ridiculous as it is. And just the arguments. So that's a game where, yeah, you're trying to convince everyone, like, if you are the imposter, that you're not the imposter. Or what happens more times than not is I'm not the imposter. I'm like a normal dude, and everyone's like, he's the guy. He's the one who killed me. And it's like, no, I promise. I think I don't know how to prove it to you, but I'm not, I swear.
It's an exercise learning how to argue.
Yeah. See, that's why I've started playing it, because I need to learn. I'm bad at
And
arguing.
the people that are good at arguing always get voted out first. Whether if they're citizens or not, or whatever.
Yeah. What about you, Zetcha? Do you have anything off the top of your head, or?
So, in terms of, you ever play Castlevania Lords of Shadow?
No.
I probably would say those would be the games.
Okay.
Like, they're not necessarily good. In fact, I don't even know if I even really like how they did them, because like they took a lot of liberties with the characters when they rebooted it for that two-part series. But I still had fun playing it because it was Castlevania, and so there's that.
Okay.
But,
Cool. Let's see. We have one last question here. This comes from Kajoma01, the board, from Discord. I love how he changed his name on there. Kojima is now the board. Anytime we make a bet, he's marking it down on a Google Note that he has, and will hopefully remind us in the future if we were right or wrong. But going off of y'all's thoughts about the Harry Potter game coming out and it not having things to do with J.K. Rowling, what is an IP that you think another developer could take and make something great with? Sort of like how another dev made Halo Wars from the Halo IP. So is there anything there? An IP that you would be, and I guess he's specifically talking about games, it seems like, where they could make, a game of. But
so
they
we
don't.
could basically be like, took The Witcher, and Nintendo made a Mario-like out of it. That's the question.
There you go. Or if Kojima Productions made a Metal Gear game.
One thing I want to look up is if
Yes.
Kojima actually had a hand in the Castlevania Lords of Shadow series. Because I thought I had seen his name on there, but I could totally be wrong.
Castlevania Lords of Shadow, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
He is a designer.
Aha!
Oh, and technically a developer. Kojima Productions. Because Kojima Productions was a thing within Konami. Like, that's what he called.
Yeah, it was like the Fox engine.
Yeah, so that's if you play any Metal Gear games and stuff like that, it always popped up Kojima Productions. Yeah. So same thing. It looks like it was them alongside Mercury Steam. As Mercury Steam was the main developer, it looks like, and then Kojima Productions.
He just took. We'll talk about that offline. But anyway, I would like to see. Such a good question. I'm trying to think. I should have done more research on this. Okay, I'm going to stick inside that Castlevania vein. I want to see a Castlevania game made by Ubisoft. I want like a giant open world Castlevania. Complete with Assassin's Creed towers.
Okay.
And stupid collectibles that I will not collect. That'd be nuts.
Okay.
That'd be cool.
I would want to see or like a Red Dead Redemption made by, trying to think of a studio, something that's more like it was still like maybe semi open world, but had a little more linear story, because I like the aesthetic of Red Dead, but like the open world is so huge and massive and crazy to me that I had a hard time getting into it. So like my immediate thought was like, if a first party like Sony studio got a hold of it and made like an awesome like single player campaign. I cannot talk for the life of me right now. So I don't know, like I don't know who I would want, but that's what I thought of, as like just a Sony first party studio jump in, do like a Red Dead spin-off where it's just like, oh no, it's like an awesome single player story, like very linear storyline kind of thing. God of War, exactly. Yes, where it feels open worldish, but it's really not. Like that'd be cool.
Instead of like throwing an axe, you're like shooting a revolver.
Exactly. So like, yeah,
Whipping
so
dudes.
a little more linear, campaign focused. Red Dead Redemption, I think, would be really cool.
Okay, I'm thinking more of a linear version of a game as well. And so what I'm thinking is I would love to see, you guys are going to laugh, but I love National Treasure 1 and 2, the movies with Nick Cage. I absolutely love them. I've watched them numerous times. They're great to watch with my kids. There's nothing bad about them. And I think that a game made by a great studio on PlayStation, on Sony, would be amazing. And so I was just thinking about this question, and I thought, man, I really love a lot of the history and everything else from the founding fathers, and I think that would be a lot of fun.
Basically Uncharted, right? Let's give it to Naughty Dog.
Basically Uncharted.
Give it to Naughty Dog.
I did think of Uncharted.
There you go.
I did think along the vein of Uncharted in the third person, linear story. Essentially the same darn thing.
Tomb Raider, yeah, give it to Square.
Very Tomb Raider-esque. you're like, JJ, this is a great idea. We've already covered that type of game a couple of different times.
Yeah,
but
there's
they
just
don't
not
have
American
Nick
versions.
freaking Cage, man. They don't have Nick freaking Cage.
That's
That'd be
what I was just
awesome.
gonna say.
But Nick Cage in a video game.
Exactly. That's what I was just gonna
And
say.
I'm
Like,
thinking-
those games might be the quote unquote the same thing, but we don't have like a fully body scanned version of like Nick Cage in a game. Like I want an exact. Like I want him. Like
Yeah, I want Nick Cage and all of his crazy glory, and I want like, you know, stuff where there's stuff about George Washington and Benjamin Franklin, and you know, all that kind of good stuff. I just think. I know they did all of it in the previous two movies, but they are talking about doing a third one. But I thought like a game along the vein of an Uncharted or a Tomb Raider would be a lot of fun.
nice. Cool. Well, that does it for our question mailbag there. I think it's time for the nerdy nudes.
It's now time for the nerdy news.
Alrighty, guys. So to start this one off, let's see. Since last episode, there was Xbox Series X and S pre-orders, and I wanted to check in with you guys. How did it go? Did you guys get one? Do you know of someone else who got one? Because I'll just start things off. I did not get one.
I didn't get one. I got approved with line of credit, and then went to go purchase it, and then they ran out of stock.
Oh,
Literally
shoot.
a click away. I was very upset. I called Microsoft because then they added insult to injury, because the next day I got texted and emailed from Citizen One, the people you get the line of credit for all access.
I did
They're like,
too.
"Hey, congratulations on your new Xbox.
Mhm.
We got
I got
we
that.
got all your information on it." Like, this is mean.
Yeah.
I don't
Sad
like
day.
this.
So you didn't get one. What about
No,
you,
I
JJ?
didn't either.
Okay. Do either of you guys know anyone who was
No.
actually able to get through? Because from what I've heard, it seems like I don't know anyone who actually got through and got one. Like it seems like everyone got
Scalpers.
shafted. Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah. Even on the Super Gamer Book Club episode, I think Adrian was saying that he had like multiple tabs open. It was refreshing, just going nuts trying to get a hold of something. And yeah, got nothing. He was super ticked off for good reason. Like, what's the point of, I don't know, doing pre-orders? It's all, I don't know. He had more thoughts about it, obviously. Like, and if you want to hear it, like, go listen to the Super Gamer Book Club. But he had a lot of like thoughts about it. It's just like, oh no, yeah, I completely agree with that. Like, they should have things prepped. They should have things ready to go. They should have this, that, the other thing. And it's what kind of add insult to injury to Xbox is, I think it was like a day or two before pre-orders, they put out kind of this cheeky tweet where they're talking about like pre-orders going live at this time, blah blah blah. We're giving you plenty of heads up, and something about it's gonna, you know, and it's gonna work, or I don't know. It was very obviously kind of poking fun of PlayStation and their pre-order debacle that we talked about last week, where basically they went early a day before, and then like everyone was going crazy trying to get them. So it's just super funny to me, anyways. Like, you were just poking fun of Sony the other day, and I feel like the Xbox ones were worse because sites were straight up like crashing, and this has been planned. Like they were expecting it and still like weren't ready for it. No, it's not, because it was like Best Buy site going on GameStop,
Actually,
all this stuff. But
that's actually a sign of success because everybody knew when they were actually going online. So that's effective marketing communication.
no, it's not.
Lesson learned. There's no right way to do pre-order launch.
Yeah, no. And that's one of the things, like later they tweeted out and it was just like, hey, like this was a huge success. Like most launch sales we've had, a lot, like all this stuff is pretty awesome. But still, it's just a bummer when like I take that back. I know one person who got 3 Xboxes.
Yeah.
And he took all of them. He took yours, he took Adrian's, and he took JJ's. So
of course, I don't think he was getting he wasn't doing the all access route. And that was the other thing.
No, yeah, he wasn't doing all access.
That, like we were trying to go all access.
Yeah.
And I think that was what everybody was trying to do, rather than just buy them outright. So I think if you're buying them outright, you had a better chance of actually getting it.
Right. Yeah, that all access is way too enticing. Like everyone and their mother was going for it. But
yeah, like it makes so much sense.
Yeah. So my thought immediately was just like, well, I didn't get it now, but I know I can at least get approved for it because I got the email. Hey, you're approved, and congrats on your new Xbox. So I was like, okay, in like 4 or 5 months when maybe they're back in stock or something, I'll just pick it up then.
I called Xbox, I called Xbox to talk to them about it. I was like, hey, so did my like order actually go through? Because I got this email, I got this text, and they're like, well, let me find out. And then he's like, no, but you did get the credit, and you might want to call the credit company because technically they think you have an Xbox, which means technically they're gonna expect you to pay them. So you might want to get that canceled until you actually do get the Xbox and let them know, hey, I wasn't able to commit to this. This way, when you do go to get all access, you start from square one rather than have to go through all these hoops.
Yeah, so I did. That was actually my immediate response. As soon as I got the email, I'm like, I don't have an Xbox. So I called Citizen One. Is that what it was? Citizen One right away. And talked to someone, and she's like, at this point, yeah, like you don't owe anything. And it doesn't look like there's any charges. You just have a line of credit with us basically at this point. She's like, but unfortunately I can't cancel it because it was just open yesterday. I can't cancel. You have to wait 30 days and then call back again. I'm like,
what?
Ooh, that's always an iffy thing. If I'm even going to remember to call back in 30 days.
Yeah.
Like,
tell Siri to remind you.
All right. Oh man.
But either way, it seems super shady to me.
A little bit.
Because like, no, you cancel it now. No, you don't wait. Like, who does that? That doesn't make no sense.
It did not make any sense.
I still need to call him.
Yeah, you try call him. If you can convince him to cancel, maybe then I'll have you call for me and you can convince him to cancel for me too. Because when I talk to her, obviously I'm just like, oh, okay, yeah, sounds good. And I hang up because I just like took her at her word. But yeah, I was worried about that same thing. As soon as I got the email, I'm like, oh, they're going to start charging me like $35 a month. And I don't have $35.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's no way. That's not fair.
I do, but if I don't have an Xbox, like that sucks. Like that's horrible.
I'm not just throwing away $35.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna ruin my credit over it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, craziness. But after all that, yeah, congrats to all you who got one, and all you who didn't. Don't worry, they will be back. And like the all access, that was something else. Someone I was talking to thought all access was like a limited time thing just for now. No, as far as I know, all access, it's been around for the past like year and a half.
Yeah.
And I assume they're gonna continue doing it because they first started doing it when the 1X got released a couple years ago, a year and a half ago, whenever that was. And yeah, I think it's going to be an ongoing thing because I think that's Xbox's new plan. Like they're basically going to a phone type setup where every couple of years you would just upgrade. Basically, when you pay it off. Essentially you would they haven't announced that, but that's my speculation. It's like, okay, after 2 years, maybe they have an upgraded version of the Series X. You trade in your old one, go towards a new one or something like that. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see if that's actually the case. But yeah, because that's basically what they did with the 1X actually. Remember, is like buy the 1X right now, and in a year you can trade it in and get a free upgrade to the Series X or whatever. Free, like you still have to make your normal 1X payments, but it wasn't like you didn't have to pay any more on top of it kind of thing.
Yeah.
But to kind of add insult to injury, so some people straight up couldn't get an Xbox, but even those who did, holy cow, Seagate's 1 terabyte game drive for Xbox Series X and Series S, and I'm going to editorialize a little bit here, might cost $220.
Yeah.
They kind of talk in this article, it's like it's for certain, but realistically, I mean, and it seems certain, but you never know until they officially announce it. So ever since Microsoft announced the details of that Velocity Drive storage architecture in its new Xbox Series family, we knew it wouldn't be cheap to add some extra storage for your new console. And just to kind of put in perspective for maybe you guys who don't know, the Series X comes with internal 1 terabyte hard drive. And the Series S comes with this 500 gigabytes, so half the amount of space. And they both are compatible with this expansion solid state. Wario64 over on Twitter points out that a Best Buy listing for Seagate's 1 terabyte expansion solid state drive confirms earlier leaks with its $220 price. So Seagate 1 terabyte game drive for a Series X and S, external custom PCI Express Gen 4 X2 NVMe solid state drive is up for pre-order for $219.99. Insane, okay? While that compares well to speedy SSDs and that use of PCIe, and usually costs around $200, it is worth considering whether you're buying a $499 Xbox Series X or $299 Series S. Yeah, so it's, think about that. You're buying, like, you spend $500 on a Series X and you want to upgrade to the 2 to 2 terabyte.
That's a lot of storage, though.
I mean, I have 2 terabyte in my PS4 Pro.
You have 2 terabytes in your PS4 Pro?
Isn't that what comes stock in it? I'm pretty sure that's what came stock in it. Are you sure?
100% positive. Because the Xbox One X that I have is also a 1 terabyte. And I have a 1 terabyte external that I have attached to it.
I have a 4 terabyte external hard drive on my PlayStation 4, and I recently, something happened to it, and I lost a lot of stuff on it.
PS4 Pro is there's 2 different models. There is a 2 terabyte model. No, it's not. What? That's a fake thing. What the heck, Amazon? No, you're right. Yeah, it's just 1 terabyte. Okay, for some reason I thought I had at one point upgraded 2 terabyte, but I bought a slow, it wasn't an SSD. I just bought like a regular disk drive.
External, like a little
it was an internal, but it was just like a cheap, like, actual physical disk drive in there. Not disk drive, but hard disk drive.
Not an SSD.
And it burned out real quick. Did not work. But yeah, okay. So that put, because I always max out my 1 terabyte. I'm always full. I'm always at capacity on my PS4, and it drives me nuts.
So games you play all the time.
All the games I play all the time. So for me, like, having 2 terabyte like is always so appealing, because it's like, I can just have so much on there, because I never know what I'm feeling. Like, at any moment's notice, I want to be able to just fire it up. And so, like, this is something I would be super interested in. But man, like, if you're spending $500 on a Series X, spend another $220 on top of it.
It sucks if that's what you really want to do, but I mean, I don't know if that really is going to appeal to most gamers, though. Because I mean, like, most gamers, they're going to be able to. They've said that you can use your, like, if you're playing old Xbox One games or older, you can still use your old drive
external.
Your old external is going to work. It's going to be fine. You only really need that expansion if you're going to be playing Xbox One S or Xbox Series X and S games. Man, I hate their naming convention so much. I hate it. But you know what I mean? So it's like, especially like right out the gate, no one's gonna be like, oh man, I gotta get that too. Gotta get the upgrade.
Right.
And
I wonder...
they said that the game sizes wouldn't be that much bigger than the Xbox One sizes either.
Okay.
So
that's good to know. I wonder too, it's something just hit me now, like, oh, you know what? And I don't even know if this is actually a feature or not with xCloud, but I wonder if they're going to be trying to push streaming more. Like, okay, you don't even have to download it. You'll just stream it through xCloud on your console. Like, you actually, instead of downloading it to your console, just play it off Game Pass through streaming or something like that.
Yeah.
I wonder if that'll be a big push too, especially for like the Series S. Series S doesn't have a disk drive. Series S has a smaller hard drive. Well, no big deal, because you can just... Fantastic, JJ. You look so... so I
Am I still frozen? Am I frozen again?
Oh, 100%. Yep. Now you just have a crazy look on your face. You looked fantastic, like a really nice smile. Now you're just like...
Oh!
Big eyes, funny looking grin. It's perfect. Okay. Yeah, I just wonder if that's going to be a feature they continue to push, if it's even a feature at this point. Like, from the last I heard, I feel like I don't know if there's actually xCloud compatible on the consoles. Do you know if it is or not? Or
they said you can play anywhere.
Okay.
So I don't know. There it is. Look at that beautiful face. Look at that mug.
I don't like the creepy eyes you got going.
Great. It's like you're peering into my soul.
I am. That's actually exactly what I'm doing.
So, something like this, though, also like is a bummer for those people who go for the Series S, because that's all they can afford. Like, $300, that's awesome, it's so cheap, $25 a month. And then, because 500 gig really isn't a lot, like that's small.
Yeah, you'll burn out.
So to like if you want to upgrade that, well, now you are up to the price of a Series X. Like, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
Well,
they have to make the money up somehow. and that makes sense if that's the case. The problem is that this is all speculation. We don't know what the price is actually going to be until they officially announce it.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Let me click on the Best Buy link here and see if it's. Oh, you know what? I'm on Best Buy's website, and it is up for pre-order for $299.99. So maybe it is confirmed.
$299.99.
Or sorry, $219. Sorry, not $219.
Good. I was like, that sounds really. Nope. That's like buying a brand new Series S.
Yeah, that's not what I meant. $219.99. Sorry. Okay. So apparently that is official, and it ships by release day, so it'll show up at your house on November 10th.
Let's hope Grandma gets you some Best Buy gift cards for your Christmas.
Right? Holy smokes! All I want to say, the last thing I want to say, is I was right. That's all. I was right. When
that's never happened before. Congratulations, Garrett.
So if this was one that we put on the board, this would be one that goes to Garrett. 1 point for Garrett.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember when as soon as they mentioned those external drives, I'm like, awesome, cool technology, goes straight in the motherboard. It's gonna be super fast hard drive, but man, it's gonna be expensive. I didn't anticipate that, but boy.
I did say it online where I was like, as soon as I heard the rumor come out, I was like, oh man, we got to keep this down. We got to make sure Garrett doesn't hear about it because if he realizes he was right about anything. So like, how can we hide this? Like I was doing everything I could to try to hide it, so you weren't aware that you did something right.
Hacked his phone, put mute filters on his Twitter.
I thought about it. I just don't know how to do any of that.
Oh man, cool. So yeah, that's what's going on in the Xbox world. Again, a lot of exciting stuff. Xbox are doing a lot right. So not to be a huge Debbie Downer, Xbox is really killing it so far, and I'm excited.
Absolutely, and
for next.
Everybody here has decided to go with it. I know myself. I'm going to be going with the Xbox. I just feel like I can't pass it up at the $35 a month deal whenever we can get our hands on it. But where are you guys at with that? I don't know if you guys have actually come out and said, no, I will be doing so.
I think initially I am interested in going Series X just because of the price. Like, yeah, the all access is kind of like so perfect, so great. And there's a lot of Xbox first party games that, would be nice to play on a console. That being said, that's kind of my biggest hang up as well. A lot of those are just available on Game Pass, and I have Game Pass on PC. So it's like, do I really need the Xbox? Because even future games are all going to be coming to PC pretty much as well on Game Pass. So that's my biggest hang up, because I would much rather just play things on a TV with a controller in my hand and not have to worry about computer things. You all know. Anyone who has a computer, like, don't lie to yourself, But it's like, oh, if I could save the $35 a month and just play it on my PC, then that might be nice too. So I don't know. I'm in this weird in between.
Yeah, I'll probably get it. Come around November 10th when the all access opens up again. I'll probably get it then. At least I'll try to. Because it's a console I'm going to get eventually, and I might as well get it at a discount. So.
Right.
Garrett, I might have to use your credit because for some reason I don't have very good credit. I don't know why that is. So can I just piggyback on yours, or how do we make that work?
No.
I wonder if the 0% APR was the launch day thing. Does anyone know if all access is always 0%
No, because
APR?
I as far as I understand, I haven't seen any examples, but I guess I feel like I heard someone talking about the fine print. I don't think everyone, like, that was the offer they're saying, hey, 0% APR. But obviously, if you have bad credit, like, you're either not going to get approved or there's going to be, interest on it. So I think in the fine print, it did say that was a possibility. So if you got 0% APR, it just means you have, the good credit. So if you have bad credit, from what I've heard, again, no one's like posted a screenshot like, I got slammed with whatever, 3% or whatever.
20% interest.
20% interest, yeah. Holy smokes. But yeah, I don't know, that would be, again, I haven't read through the fine print either, but I've just heard from other people like, oh, you know what, like, it is a possibility, I guess. I'd be interested to look into that too, because that would suck if they're like, yeah, we still have all access, but now there is interest on it, because that would be super. I mean, that would totally negate how it's a good deal. Like, it's, at that point, just save up and buy the console outright then.
Yep.
But We will
Cool.
have to wait and see. The next news story here. Amazon announces a new cloud gaming service called Luna. So we're just talking about xCloud. Amazon is entering the battle here. At its 2020 hardware event today, Amazon announced a cloud gaming platform called Luna. The news isn't too surprising. The service has been rumored since last year, previously codenamed Tempo. While an Amazon-made game controller leaked out just ahead of today's event, it's not clear when Luna will launch widely, but it will initially be available on PC, Mac, Fire TV, and iPhone and iPad via web apps.
Yeah.
It's
not going to survive on iPhone.
Not natively, because Apple hates fun, apparently, with an Android version planned for after launch. Amazon says that interested users in the US can request early access, which I did. If you haven't done, go find the Amazon page, and you can just enter your email, and it allows you to request early access to the streaming beta. Starting today, there's no word on international availability. The service will be available for an introductory price of $5.99 a month during its early access phase, which gives subscribers the ability to play Luna Plus channel games across 2 devices simultaneously and offers 4K 60 frame per second resolution for select titles. Naturally, it will be powered by AWS, Amazon's ubiquitous web platform. There will be more than 100 games available via the Luna Plus channel, and launch titles include Resident Evil 7, Control, Panzer Dragoon, A Plague Tale: Innocence, The Surge 2, Yooka-Laylee, Grid, Abzu, Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons. Amazon says more titles will be added over time. The company has also partnered with Ubisoft for a specific gaming channel. Here's how Amazon describes it. I don't think I really need to describe it, but basically Luna so far is doing everything that we thought Stadia would be, where you pay $5.99 a month and there's a quote-unquote channel where you can literally play 100 games, kind of like a Game Pass type thing. Like that's what it sounds like. There's a library of 100 games, and they're going to be adding to it. So that subscription, you're essentially getting the streaming part of it free, and you're just paying the $5.99 a month for that 100 game library. Which
are you downloading the games, or are they all being streamed?
It's streaming. Luna is a streaming, same as xCloud, same as Stadia.
This is a bad idea.
Stay
in your lane, Amazon.
What's that?
In your lane. I'm saying that Amazon needs to not get into the gaming space. Just don't. Don't do it. If you're not going to fully commit, like Xbox and PlayStation and Nintendo, don't do it. Like, what are they?
I feel like they're pretty committed with, like, they own Twitch and everything.
That's different.
And this is hooking up any controller, like either the DualShock or the Xbox controller.
At this point, they've only talked about their own controller. Yeah. It looks like an Xbox controller, essentially, or even like a Switch Pro controller. Kind of looks like.
It's the premium. It's the ultimate controller.
But if it's,
I was going to point that out real quick. I just want to make one point to you, Mr. Garrett. Notice how nobody is mimicking the PlayStation controller. Stadia. Even PlayStation doesn't even mimic the PlayStation controller anymore. You know why? Because they know it sucks. It's a terrible controller. Just saying.
I don't know.
Proof is in the pudding.
Feels
Xbox
good
did
in my
one thing
hands.
right. It's their controller.
I don't recall, but doesn't Stadia's controller look more like the PlayStation's?
No.
As far as I know, the shaping of it is more of an Xbox, but I thought the placement of the analog sticks.
Nope.
It wasn't centered.
Nope.
Oh, all right.
Because it's a terrible design. See?
Okay. Look at my 8BitDo controller, which is for Nintendo Switch. Has it correct?
Whoa, that looks so look how beautiful that is.
And yet I hear you talk so much, like, I hear you talk about your 8BitDo, and you're like, oh, I love my 8BitDo. It doesn't connect the way I want it to connect sometimes.
That's just with my PC. I think I've kind of narrowed it down. I think it's something wrong with the Bluetooth in my PC.
You named one controller to, like, what, 3 that I've named now that all resemble Xbox controllers?
I mean, my PlayStation controller.
Yeah, that doesn't count. I'm not. You can't be like,
Garrett,
PlayStation makes like PlayStation.
Being somebody who you use your PlayStation 4 controller when you're using Game Pass, how does that work when you're playing Game Pass games on your PC and you're using the DualShock? Does it feel okay? I mean, obviously you're used to the DualShock. Does it feel weird in any way?
No, it just feels like any other game. I don't know. Like, it feels normal. Yeah. because that's what I always use. I always just use PlayStation or the 8-bit DOS, so that's just what I'm used to. And a lot of the Game Pass games too, even not all of them, but there's been a few that actually recognize the PlayStation buttons. Like I plug in and I'm playing a Game Pass game, and it'll say X, circle, square, triangle. I'm like, that's weird.
That's because the developer loads in different control schemes.
Right.
Well, I mean, they do that on PC too.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. I've seen that on Steam, but it just always feels weird when it's like Xbox Game Pass and it does it too. Like I'm like, oh, that's weird. Like I've noticed that when I played a Steam game with a controller, but yeah, when I fire up a Game Pass and I'm like, oh, they know what PlayStation is. Okay, that's cool. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm excited about this only because it's what we got all stoked about last year before Stadia came out. It's exactly what Stadia promised. So it's like, okay, round 2, let's see if someone else can figure it out. Like xCloud's already got it nailed down, obviously, but okay, Stadia failed. Let's see if Amazon can figure this out. And so far they're saying the right things. And they're saying more now than what Stadia ever said before. It's for sure, because Stadia was so, zipped lips literally until 3 days before they released it, and then they said something that everyone hated and everyone canceled their pre-orders 3 days before launch. So yeah, I'm curious because it would be fun to have a competitor to xCloud. Like competition's not a bad thing. And so I just in that sense it'd be, because we know Stadia is now competition. So okay, if Amazon can come up and even maybe not be full place like Sony Microsoft competition, but even just something to challenge Game Pass every once in a while, like maybe Luna comes out with a cool feature, like, oh okay, well that's something worth implementing. Like that's totally worth it. I think
the very best, Luna will be better than Stadia, but not anywhere near as successful or important, or that it won't have nearly the install base to make it a regular household item. That's what I'm calling. Like, who is this for? Like, who gets this?
The people who wanted Google
Who's
Stadia.
their target audience? Is what I'm saying.
I don't know. What do you mean? They're going for the people who don't want to shell out a bunch of money for a console. They're looking for streaming services.
If they don't have money to buy a console, they probably aren't paying for really good internet. And if you're going to be only streaming, you're going to need really good internet.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I mean, but you can say the same thing about xCloud, like who's there, and the same thing about Stadia, like who is there, like
people that already own Xboxes. Like, oh, you love Xbox, that's great. Guess what? You can take all your games with you anywhere you want now. You want a game in your bed? Guess what? You got it for iPad. You want a game on the train? Guess what? You got it for your phone. That's who it's for.
You want a game on the toilet? Well,
game on the toilet.
There you go. That's where I knew you were going to go there next. You're welcome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Felt like you needed to be said.
JJ gets it.
Okay.
I get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get it.
I don't know. My thought is like xCloud has like the better systems and setup and like Game Pass and all this stuff. Like xCloud is great. It's amazing. But again, like back to my argument of like, if there's no competition, like eventually they're just gonna, like that can grow stale. Like if they don't have anything to challenge them. So I feel like that's
like Sony.
I feel like that's Amazon's goal is to like, I don't know. Yeah, they're just trying to battle it out with Xbox a little bit. Like, okay, like, because you're right. xCloud is going to be mostly probably people who have Xboxes and want to be able to continue their games wherever they go. But like, there are other people out there besides us who are like just casual gamers who don't want to buy a console but are interested at $5 a month, $6 a month. Like, oh, all right, that's not bad. Like, I'll play whatever, just stream it over the internet or something. Yeah. I don't know. That's my thought. I think it's going to be to the casual gamers who are like, they see a game that sounds interesting, or maybe their best friend tells them all about it. And so it's just like one or two games they really want to play this year. Like in 2020, they've heard about like, this isn't going to be a game on Luna, but Final Fantasy VII Remake. And instead of going out and buying like a PlayStation 4 to play that one game this year, like, oh, I can just pay $6 and play it over on Luna or whatever like that. Like,
do they announce how much the controller is going to cost? It's going to be like an $80 controller.
It is.
In the
introductory price of $49.99. So for during the early access period, it says $50. I'm sure it'll go up to like 60 or 70, once it's out of early access. But for now, it's going to be an Alexa-enabled Luna controller with Twitch functionality as well. I think that's another big feature is you'll be able to basically like stream straight to Twitch, or while you're watching a Twitch stream through Luna, you can hit a button. So exactly what Stadia promised with YouTube, and be able to like, oh, that game looks interesting. If it's part of the Luna library, you can hit a button, it'll fire it up.
So again, just to clarify, to clarify, so it's essentially something like if you have a smart TV, it's an app that you pull up a page similar to you have a Netflix app and you have an Amazon Instant View app or whatever. So you click on the app and it provides you with the pages or the 100 games that you can play at any time for a streaming fee of like what, $5.99 a month.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, I think that it's probably getting a lot more negative flack than it deserves. That doesn't sound too terribly bad. $49 for a thing like that. It will be smarter for the casual gamer, for somebody who doesn't have the $35 to drop on a new Xbox. Maybe for somebody like for my kid, if I didn't give him everything that he possibly wanted, I can see like going, hey, I buy a $50 thing and he's got access to all these games for a low. Yeah, I think it's pretty smart, actually. It's going for that streaming market, for the Netflix fan, for the fan of, Amazon or Hulu that's willing to pay those streaming fees each month.
Streaming a movie or show and streaming a game are completely different.
They are different as far as like data caps and stuff like that. Yeah, that is the biggest thing is most people's internet has a data cap. And it's not in this article. I was reading another article.
4K at 60 FPS is what
that adds up. That adds up crazy quick. Like in an hour. Yeah, in an hour you like rack up quite a few gigs. So I missed. It's not in this article. It was in another one, but that just in a week you could easily max out your month's worth of data that you're available, and that sucks.
Which is why Xbox has it dialed in with, hey, just download the game. Boop.
Right. Yeah. If you want to play from home, but again, that requires you to own an Xbox. That's why it's this weird thing. You're right. Like the audience isn't. It's not a great audience to target because usually the casual gamer is not going to have unlimited data on their internet, and so it's definitely a niche market. But I don't know. I hope they succeed just so that there's some sort of, I don't know. Again, like I'm excited for the competition between the two because so far Luna is saying everything right, where Stadia promised everything, and then when they actually revealed things, they said all the wrong things. So we'll see. We'll have to wait and see. I hope I at least get picked for early access because I'm curious to try it. See.
So are we putting this on the board? I feel like I'm the only one that thinks this is a bad idea.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to put it on the board.
Put it on the board!
Zetch thinks Amazon Luna is going to be a flop.
I think it's going to be better than Stadia. I think in long term, it's going to be forgotten. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
It's not going to make nearly a dent in the gaming industry. It's going to be a footnote.
Interesting. Interesting. The next news here isn't really news, but I got super excited about it. So, I literally
read this and was like, this isn't news.
This is news.
Garrett
this is
excited.
The biggest news of the week. Metal Gear Solid and other Konami classics come to GOG.com. That's right. For the longest time, it was weirdly difficult to play Solid Snake's early outings on PC. The original Metal Gear was released for the MSX2 computer and then a few years later for MS-DOS and Commodore 64, including the popular NES port in 1987. The first two Metal Gear Solid titles, meanwhile, were released on PC but never available through digital storefronts like Steam. Thankfully.
Wow.
Bless you.
Oh, I'm allergic to Metal Gear Solid. Oh my gosh. I have to take a quick pill. Hold on for a second.
Thankfully,
I take Allertech sometimes. It's a 24-hour. You got to do it every day. I'm allergic to Metal Gear Solid and anything in relation to. Hold on, it's coming again. Anything in relation to Hideo Kojima. Is that wrong? No.
These aren't remakes or remasters. The listing on GOG.com, however, states that Metal Gear Solid has quote-unquote better graphics, added features, and new gameplay modes, and includes the VR missions from the expansion released in 1999. And the Metal Gear Solid 2 is the Substance Edition, which was an expanded version that came out on PS2, Xbox, and PC. So Okay, you got me there, Zach. It's not really news, but
It's not news.
if you've been hankering to play some Metal Gear Solid, which is up to this point the only place you could play it was on PS1. If you had a PS1, you could play Metal Gear Solid. Now you can play Metal Gear Solid on PC. So you're welcome, everyone. $10.
I'm excited for everybody gets to play it.
I
not
purchased
news,
it
but I'm excited for it.
immediately. I
I'm
purchased
sure
it and
you
installed
did.
it immediately. And let me tell you, I fired it up. Oh man, it was instant gratification.
I
I'm
don't think
so
I've ever
happy.
met anybody that's blindly loyal to a franchise like you.
It's so good. Have you played them? Zach, have you played them?
I've seen them played.
Oh, that doesn't count. Come on, you can't.
no.
Sure as heck it does.
Zech, that's like a failure in life.
Oh,
How's that?
no.
These are
What's
the-
the difference between me
these are the
watching it and
greatest-
playing? Like,
Oh,
I picked up Metal Gear Solid 5. Is the only one that I've played.
that's the
and
worst one.
Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes.
Those are the
You're
worst
hurting
ones.
him. You're
Those
hurting.
are the worst ones.
You're hurting Garrett, dude. Like you can't come onto this show and start throwing your weight around and like saying hurtful things. Like I haven't played that game before. I mean, what kind of a monster are you?
Like,
This is like now
to
I
a
know how you
franchise.
felt. Now I know how you felt when I said I never played BioShock Infinite.
No, you really
That's how
don't.
I'm feeling. That's how I'm feeling right now with Metal Gear.
Bioshock is consistently in like the top 5 greatest games of all time. You know where Metal Gear Solid
Metal
is?
Gear?
Near the bottom.
That
List
is
of, like, a
not
million.
true. That is not
Maybe
true.
okay, that's an exaggeration. Maybe if we did like a top 50 games top 50 games ever, Metal Gear Solid would probably be near the bottom somewhere. Bioshock is consistently in the middle to the top.
I want to see solid evidence. That's a lot of speculation. I want to see some solid evidence.
I've read
so,
a list.
well, send them to me. Prove it.
GameStop.
Send it to me.
Game Informer doesn't count. One time they did a top 10, 50 games ever. You know what game took number 1?
No.
Skyrim.
Well,
Skyrim. That
yeah.
game, 50 games of all time, glitchy Skyrim gets number 1.
Yeah, no, it's not
Get out
great.
of town. It beat out Chrono Trigger. What? Chrono Trigger wasn't even in the top 10 on that list. No, I think it was like a 7. Anyway, that I think I covered that on one of the Nerd Dads episodes when it came out. I was so livid. I was like, who writes this trash? This isn't right.
That's
This is
awesome.
written by a non-gamer. This is written by a guy that hates games.
Oh
Anyway,
man. So
that's
yeah.
my
So
rant.
if you want to play Metal Gear Solid 1 or 2,
I'll probably
Go over to
soup on it
GOG.
just because they're so cheap. I did like the price on them. But the thing is, I don't want to get a GOG account. I'd rather it's all be in Steam. Can I put it in Steam?
no, but GOG has a new thing where all your Steam games go into GOG,
I
so
don't
you
want
could just
that.
get rid of Steam. Okay, well,
It's called GOG. It's the noise you make when you're drowning. GOG.
good old games, good old games. All right, this last news story here is a tired story by now, but for those of you who don't know, Sony has confirmed that there's no free PS4 upgrade path for Spider-Man Remastered. So it's basically another cross-gen upgrade debacle going on here. We've heard about it a bunch of times already, but it was just more surprising because this is the first-party studio game that's kind of being treated like this. Like all the other ones were third-party studios, and I guess I assumed, oh, Spider-Man's a first-party deal. Of course, it's going to be easy to bring over, right? So
They just don't want to go through the trouble.
yeah, right. Following last week's news that the Ultimate Edition of Spider-Man Miles Morales on PS5 would include a remaster of the original PS4 Spider-Man, Sony has moved to offer clarification. Sony broke down the somewhat convoluted ins and outs of the Spider-Man remaster in a statement. The key takeaway, however, is that while some PS4 titles will include a free upgrade path to their PS5 counterparts, this doesn't apply to the Spider-Man remastered. The existing Spider-Man owners will need to buy Miles Morales, which releases on November 12th, in order to get the enhanced edition. On PlayStation 5, the most straightforward way to acquire the remastered is to purchase the $70 Ultimate Edition of Spider-Man Miles Morales, but the situation on Sony's current-gen console is a little more involved. The first thing to note is that if you buy the PS4 version of Miles Morales, you do get the PS5 version at no extra cost, but only the equivalent of the PS5 standard version. But then you have the opportunity to pay a $20 upgrade fee to get the remastered version of Spider-Man. But if you want to just buy Marvel's Spider-Man Remastered from the PS4 game on the PS5 standalone, you can't. The only way to get it is either if you buy Miles Morales and then do the upgrade, or if you buy the Ultimate Edition. So it's kind of crazy because it's there. Like, the game exists. Like, all they have to do is just open a new tab on the PlayStation Store and offer it, but they're not, which kind of sucks. And that's also coming in the wake of another news story. We're not going to hit that full story, but basically, if you play the remastered, like the PS5 version of the original Spider-Man game, your PS4 saves don't transfer over,
Right.
or at least even, they don't connect at all. So if you wanted to, granted, they haven't announced any sort of like bonuses or anything you get in Miles Morales for having played the original, but that sucks. Like, you have all that progress built up in the PS4 version, and then you want to hop over to the PS5 version, you are starting back from ground zero. So I don't know. This is kind of interesting misstep, in my opinion, there, because being a first-party studio, it seems like a no-brainer on all of those fronts, and they missed the step in every way they possibly could with that, I feel like. I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Does it seem obvious to you? Like, is that something where you're just like, well, no, of course it's going to be convoluted, or are you bummed out at all? Like, what did you guys expect from this?
I don't know that side of the business.
Yeah.
So it could be any number of things. It could be IP. I mean, it's a Spider-Man IP. It could be something with that.
That is true.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's
quick
always
question.
a lot of IP stuff that comes up with the whole Marvel and Sony.
Yeah. Quick question. Because I'm kind of blinking here. It should be something I know, but did Spider-Man, that came out before Insomniac was a first-party studio, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
They
Like,
were.
it was a PlayStation exclusive, and then it was a few months later, then they got acquired, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Which could also be, there could be some contract issues with that too.
Right. That
You know
could
what I
be
mean?
something.
Honestly, at the end of the day, you guys ever hear of Occam's razor? You know what that means?
Yes.
What that is?
Yes.
So, at the end of the day,
You watched the movie Contact, didn't you?
no.
With Jodie Foster. Okay, that's where most people know that term from.
I read books.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Mr. Smarty Pants.
Go ahead, Miss
I'm
Book Reader.
just kidding. I was trying to stoop to new levels of douchebag, and I think I hit it.
No, awesome.
I think I hit the
love
bottom.
it. I love it.
No, I'm just kidding around. But so basically, the simplest argument is the truest.
Tends to be the
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and in this case, I think the simplest explanation is that there's probably just some stuff that we don't know, and it's not that Sony or Insomniac are trying to be jerks and charge us for a bunch of money, but there's probably just some behind the scenes stuff that goes down, just like with the 505 games. Who knows? You know, I mean, it's probably layered in so much PR that it's hard to actually determine what the actual real truth of the situation is. But as a consumer, am I gonna buy an Ultimate Edition so I can replay Spider-Man 1 again on my PS5? Probably not.
Right, because that's the other thing is there's backwards compatibility. So if you have, as long as you have a disc, or I guess even the digital version from what we understand of on PS4, you can still play it on your PS5. It just won't be the up-res remastered version for PS5. It'll just be the original backwards compatibility version. So it's like, oh, okay. So if you own it previously, you're fine. Like, it's not a huge deal. It's just if you wanted like all the ray tracing and, fancy graphics or whatever, 60 frames per second. Who knows? Might even run at 60 frames. Who knows what it'll run at? But okay, yeah. And well, the other weird thing that too is they have the Ultimate Edition for PS5 where you get both Miles Morales and the remastered version. But I'm surprised they don't have not an Ultimate Edition, but like an upgraded edition because on PS4. So you obviously wouldn't get the remastered version of Spider-Man, but I'm surprised they don't have like a bundle pack, I guess, where it has Miles Morales and then Spider-Man PS4.
Yeah.
Because that seems like a no-brainer too, because some people might have missed Spider-Man. If they did, they're crazy because it's a fun game. But like, okay, get two birds with one stone there is buy the combo pack. Although nowadays Spider-Man's almost always on sale too. So just get it on a good sale and you're good to go. Alrighty, guys. That is all for the news this week. So let's jump into some... Oh, not new releases. First, we're going to talk about our Patreon. Alrighty, guys. So as we mentioned at the top of the episode, you can support us over at patreon.com/supergamerboys. Starting at just $1 a month, you can start getting some cool perks like episodes early and ad-free. And now, starting just this month and hopefully going for a long time, doing the Super Gamer Book Club. This month we did BioShock. If you support us right now, you'll get immediate access to that. And then next month, we're doing the last Friday of every month. You'll have access to future Super Gamer Book Clubs. Next month, we're doing Mass Effect 2. We haven't announced future months yet. Or I think we're actually still trying to figure out a cool voting system. That way we can allow Patreon supporters there to pick and choose what games we're going to be playing. But yeah, it was a lot of fun doing that episode. So if you're interested in that at all, just $1 a month, you can get a hold of that. $5 and up, you get your name in the show notes and or in the show description, and you get is that the one you get show notes at? Yeah, you do get show notes. So you get to see what we're going to be talking about, the news articles, the questions that we get from mailbag, and what you've been playing, whatever it is. You have access to leave comments on there. You can chime in, leave your own thoughts, comments, concerns, whatever, and we might even read those on the air if you say something interesting. And $10 a month, you are a Patreon sponsor. You get a shout out on the show. JJ makes fun of you, makes jokes. You know, people love it.
Yes,
People love the abuse. I don't know what it is, but you know, we are so thankful for all you sponsors. Though you guys are awesome. And last but not least, we have our Patreon producer tier, $15 a month, and that allows you to be our boss. On the BioShock episode, Adrian was like, hey, I want to be on the show. And we had to say yes because he's our boss. So, and because he's awesome and he was wonderful. And again, we mentioned this earlier, way smarter than us. So it was fantastic having him. But if you want to have that ability to be like, hey, I'm kind of interested in being on that episode, you know, can I be on that one? Or if you have segments to pitch or whatever it might be, if you want a more, you know, one-on-one interaction with us and how we do our show, support us over the Patreon producer tier, and you'll have a direct line to JJ's cell phone. You actually get JJ's cell phone number. Call him at any time of day.
I answer whenever, always. 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm that
Always.
guy. I literally, and you know what? I answer the phone, not like, hello. No, I answer the phone, hey, what's happening, everybody? I literally answer like that. 1 o'clock in the morning, I swear I do. It's true.
Every time. I've tested it. It works. I called, I did like, what is the *62, or what's the private number if you're trying to do a private call? So he didn't know it was me.
Not that I know.
Yep, he didn't know it was me. Didn't show up on his caller ID, and he answered that way. So there you go. Support us at $15 a month, and you get JJ's cell phone number. Alrighty, guys. Well, thank you so much.
You enjoyed that too much.
Oh man, that would be fun. That would be fun, but no. This is where the fine print goes. You don't actually get JJ's phone number. Well, thank you all who already support us for supporting us. All you who are thinking about it, please do. We would very much appreciate it. And I think it's time to get into the rest of the show. Alrighty, guys. So new releases this week. Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 Complete Edition on Switch and PC. Ooh. Which, by the way, I think Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, or one of the Roller Coaster Tycoons, is free on the Epic Game Store right now. I think it's 3. I think it must have like just came out, like a remastered version, because it says Complete Edition. I don't know if the Complete Edition is free, maybe just the base edition. But go over to Epic Game Store, and it is. I got it free the other day. Mafia Definitive Edition is out on PS4, Xbox One, Stadia, and PC. And Spelunky 2 is out on PC now. Last week, I think it came out on consoles. Now it's out on PC. And that's it. Now it's time for what you've been playing. So, JJ, what have you been playing?
So this week I've been playing a little bit of mobile game, Among Us. My son I don't know where he learns of this kind of stuff. Probably buddies that he's playing with online tell him, oh man, you got to play this mobile game. So he starts playing Among Us, and he brought me the game and said, oh, Dad, you're going to love this game. This game is amazing. Guess what, guys? Not amazing. I know you said that you were having fun with it. Not fun in any way. I feel dumber every time I play it, and I can't wait to not be playing it anymore. Every time, there's nothing to the game. It's like Spy versus Spy. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and I don't think it's a fun game. I didn't play a whole lot, but there was a couple of days of him coming back and, hey, sit here and play with me, and I played, and I kept looking at the clock the whole time. So. And then also we played Fall Guys on Saturday. I got to play a good hour of Fall Guys with Lee, and I got trolled pretty hard. I'm not gonna lie, I got really, really mad. I had either a grown man, because it had to be a grown man, it couldn't have been a child, like a kid, that every time I try to jump onto a platform, they would just knock me down. And I would be like, come on, man, like, just let me go already. I'm just trying to go. And they just kept knocking me down. I'm like, they are wasting. I would like try to move away to be able to jump on this platform. And they kept coming over and just knocking me off. And I'm like, and they must be enjoying it so much, knocking me off, not realizing I'm nearly 42 years old, man. You're knocking over a grown man right now. This is not cool. And he's crying legitimately. There are tears streaming down my face.
That was probably
Yes,
me.
why does this kid keep messing with me?
that was me trolling you, JJ.
Dude, there was somebody who had no soul that was doing it, No soul.
I'll take a picture of JJ's face.
Oh man, that is perfect.
That's money.
Perfect.
Oh, that's
so good.
I'm frozen again?
Yeah, and you
you're
look
frozen, buddy.
so good.
This is your new profile
Great.
pic.
No.
Yeah, every time
All right,
you
let
call
me-
me, that's what's gonna show up.
All right, what do we got? Can I see that?
Oh, you can't really. Too
Oh,
bright.
yeah.
Too bright.
A little too bright.
That's good stuff. You can just go back to YouTube or supergamemovies.com/YouTube and oh yeah, there it is.
Oh
Look at
no, I
that.
look lit.
Yeah, you
I look
just
stoned out of my mind, or I
so
look like I'm on
stoned.
America's Most Wanted.
Yes,
That's
it's like the
horrible.
really bad like mug shot going on here.
That's a mugshot.
That's album art.
It's horrible.
Album art.
Don't use that for the call photo. No.
Oh, he's calling. Oh, it's my buddy JJ.
He's
Why
always
keep the
stoned.
face
He's on my
America's
podcast.
Most Wanted?
Oh boy, cool. So you played some Among Us. You played some Fall Guys. Two
Yes, sir.
fairly fun games. So
Yeah,
Among Us is
yeah,
one of
well-
those things. Among Us is one of those games though. To me it's similar to Fall Guys. It's fun with a bunch of people and a lot of people So like you can have up to 10 players. And so to have 10 people all together and everyone's in Discord. So the idea is while you're playing, you're not supposed to be able to talk. So we all mute our mics. And then as soon as it's done, like, oh, someone found a dead body, everyone fires up their mics because the chat sucks. Like trying to like argue in chat is horrible because there's no voice chat in the game. But to like jump on mics and then like you're yelling at each other and arguing, trying to figure out like, who was it? I found the dead body in this room and I saw this guy run from that room. So I think it was him. And like you only have so many seconds. Like, I don't know. It's a blast, especially as a bunch of people you enjoy playing with. So I highly recommend it. But again, if it's just like a couple people playing and you don't know and you can't verbally talk to them, it's not a fun game. Like, no, that sounds horrible. That sounds like just really crappy. But yeah, doing it with your boys over voice chat and having a big group of people gets pretty chaotic and a lot of fun. But
I didn't have any, but I understand. I see how it could be in the right mood, I guess. But
Yeah.
playing it on mobile sucks. Playing it on
Yeah,
a phone, I don't know, but
that
phone
sounds
games
horrible
suck
too.
for the most part. It really is.
Zach, what have you been playing?
So I've been mostly playing Samus Returns. Well, apart from Mass Effect 2, I've been making major headway on Mass Effect 2 about a third of the way through.
Dang,
getting ready for our
son.
Review. I haven't had a chance to actually really kind of formulate my notes on it yet, but I love that game. So I've been playing a lot of Mass Effect 2, but other than that, I picked up Metroid Samus Returns for the 3DS, and
Okay.
that is one of the funnest entries in the series for sure. It's vibing, man. It's just that perfect Super Metroid feel, brought like updated, and so they took a lot of the original Metroid 2 and then kind of stuck to I don't want to say the story, I mean, or the formula really, because they embellish so much and make so much more of it better than the original.
Okay.
It's almost like Metroid 2 is just like an outline, and then the 3DS just like filled in all the blanks. So they
Okay.
gave it more context onto why you're there. They gave lots of history and felt a lot more texture with like the planet itself. And of course the Metroids are freaking terrifying when they evolve. Oh my gosh. Like
Dang.
it's freaky like the
Yeah.
spider ones.
Yeah. So earlier you mentioned even the comparison of like almost like the Final Fantasy VII remake
Oh yeah.
of this game. So that's kind of how you'd explain it, like a lot more fleshed out, a lot like slowed. Now, as far as the length of the game, like is it similar to that too, where it's a longer game because it's so fleshed out, or not so much?
I don't know yet. I kind of wonder if it's gonna pull like a Metroid Zero mission on me, where it's like I haven't. So if anybody knows, don't spoil it for me. I don't want to know. Because I don't know if you ever had a Game Boy Advance, but I remember playing Metroid Zero Mission, which is a remake of the first Metroid,
Right.
and they kind of did this kind of the same thing where they just like took the first Metroid and just like redid it like top to bottom, and they added on like a lot more to the end of it. So like the original Metroid, like for NES, you beat Mother Brain, you go all the way up this shaft, and that's the end of the game. Metroid Zero Mission, you beat Mother Brain.
Spoilers.
Yeah, well, it's been a while. It's been like 30 years, 40 years. So, in Zero Mission, you go all the way up the shaft, but then you're getting ready to make your escape and you get shot down. You got to play for like another half of the game without your suit.
Whoa.
And so you
Okay.
play as just like regular Samus. Play as Zero Suit Samus, is what they call her. So she just has like a little pistol, like a little stun gun.
Yeah.
And so that's what happened there. So I'm kind of wondering if they're going to do the same thing in Metroid 2 Samus Returns for the 3DS, where you beat all these Metroids, because you beat them pretty quick. Like I think I have like 10 more Metroids to kill now, and I've been only playing for like 3 hours maybe.
Oh wow. Okay.
So I'm kind of hoping that they have a little bit more to it, because otherwise I'll be really kind of bummed that it's so short, because I love the gameplay so much that I want to keep playing it. Like they have like this really cool like counterattack feature. So like if an enemy's coming at you, you can like block them and stun them real quick and then shoot them. So it's kind of like almost like a rhythm to it.
Okay.
Which is
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
fun. All the items you find are pretty classic Metroid items: Spider Ball, Spring Ball. So they stuck pretty true to the original Metroid with that, Metroid 2 with that stuff. Your wave gun, ice gun. I'm still missing one of the guns. Missiles. So there's still a lot more for me to go exploring, even though I have 10 more Metroids left to kill. So I'm pretty sure it's going to throw a curveball at me, and I'm going to have more to do after I beat it. But so I play a lot of that. It's really fun. Go check it out.
Cool.
If you can get your hands on it, you know, 3DS. And Bright Memory. I don't know if you guys remember that. It was one of the Bright Memory Infinite was a game they showed off for the Xbox event. The first one.
That sounds familiar.
It looked really cool. It was like
Oh yeah.
yeah, that. So it was on sale on Steam for like $7.99. Just
I didn't realize that was a sequel.
Yeah, it's a sequel. It's it's not. So if memory serves correct, Bright Memory was an early access game.
Okay.
Bright Memory Infinite
Steam
is the finished version.
Okay, yeah, Steam's early access program for Microsoft Windows in 2019.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I've been playing through Bright Memory, and it's awesome. Like I am pumped for Infinite. It's a really fun shooter.
That was the game. Like I was very confused with what was going on. It looked beautiful. Like on the Series X, I was like, "Holy crap, this is insane!" But like, it starts out like you have a gun, and then there's people with swords and axes, and then you're like jumping through like the area with like superpowers, and then you like come to this garden that looks very like Japanese like architecture and stuff like that, and then all of a sudden this like 80s looking like like a DeLorean looking car pulls up and you jump in and then you peel out. And I was like, there was a lot of aesthetics going on. And like that 2-minute demo, like, I don't know what's happening. It seems very confused, but it looks super less like cool. Like it feels like a game where like, it may not make sense, but it's cool.
Yeah,
so is that kind of how it feels?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess pretty much the story in it, I guess, is you're part of some sort of like research organization, and you find out there's some company trying to resurrect the dead. And so you're fighting you're jumping through like these weird like portals and things, trying to solve these mysteries. And you're like none of the world looks as comprehensible. Like you're just kind of doing some cool stuff, but the mechanics it's kind of Devil May Cry in the way that every fight you go into has like a score of like style points. So you kind of get style points by like throwing people up in the air and then like shooting them while they're in the air and all this stuff. So fun game. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool.
So it's being developed by FYQD Personal Studio. It's a Chinese independent developer. So it's one dude in China has made the entire game on his own.
Well, he's really good.
That's insane. That's so crazy. Super cool. Okay. I'll have to check out some trailers or some of that then. Because again, like watching that Infinite trailer, I was just like, I don't know what's going on. But knowing that there was like everything I'm seeing on Google here, they almost referred to Bright Memory as quote unquote episode 1.
Yeah, it was supposed to be episodic, but they changed their mind.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool. Anything else? That pretty much, you talked about Gloomhaven at the beginning of the show, huh?
Yeah.
Cool board game, but
it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's so freaking hard though, just like trying to figure out the mechanics. But it's gonna be one of those games that once you have the mechanics down, it's gonna be super fun. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And Paper Mario. I'm playing through Paper Mario.
Paper
I got
Mario.
one streamer left.
Okay, getting close to wrapping it up.
Yep.
How many hours do you think you have into it?
Good question. Somewhere between 10 and 20.
Cool.
Maybe 15 and 20.
Okay. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good chunk for a Mario game.
It makes it easy when you have kids that want to watch you play. Like literally, like it's almost like reading them a bedtime story playing in that game. So like they just want to stay up and watch you play it. It's like, okay.
That's awesome. Yeah, my son loves to watch me play it too. But the problem is he's at a stage and an age where too much TV and video games he gets so much attitude afterwards. He's such a bear to deal with. So it's like, okay, no TV or video games. Like we're limiting it a lot right now.
Yeah.
He gets very difficult to deal with. I'm like, I don't want to deal with that. I'd rather just not play video games and not deal with a cranky kid the rest of the night.
Yeah, for sure.
But so I played just one game this last week. It was was not BioShock Infinite. Oops. No, it was over on my buddy's stream, Boba Fletch. Shout out to Boba Fletch. They were playing Pummel Party. Have you guys heard of Pummel Party?
Heard of it. I haven't played it.
Okay. It's a game that came out in 2018, which I never heard of it until just recently. And it seems like it's gotten like really popular recently for whatever reason. It is essentially Mario Party, but let's see, rated. Actually, I don't even know what it's rated. It doesn't say on Steam here. I can't find it. I would say probably rated T or M, just because it's a very violent game. But it's totally Mario Party. It's a 4 to 8 player online or local multiplayer party game. Pummel friends or AI using a wide array of absurd items in the board mode and compete to destroy friendships in the unique collection of mini games. So there's I don't even know how many mini games there are. It seems like there's hundreds of them. Like the whole time we played, I don't think we played one repeat. And it's a board game. So there's a bunch of different maps, boards where you're moving around just like Mario Party. And essentially, instead of going for stars, you're trying to collect, there's a treasure chest with like a chalice or like a cup in it. But in order to unlock the chest, you need to have so many keys. So it's exactly like the coin and star system in Mario Party. It's literally that, but bloody, gory, crazy, like weapons and stuff like that. But really fun mini games, like really, really good mini games.
That's cool.
It's on sale right now on Steam for $9.89. So it's 34% off. Normally it's $15 on sale for just under $10. And it's a blast to play. So I think we had about 8 of us playing on their stream, and it was like so much stinking fun. I was exhausted. I was really tired. So in the moment I was like, I don't know why I'm up this late. Like I should be going to bed. Like this sucks. But afterwards I'm like, I need to play more Pummel Party. Like I'm really excited to jump on with them again and play with a group. Cause yeah, that was a lot of fun. And it's just really funny and hilarious and goofy and silly. And yeah, like just a mature Mario Party. I'm like, okay, I'm down. That's fun. So yeah, definitely check that one out if you guys are interested, because
Well, you
it's
kind of
a
had
fun.
me intrigued until you said mature. I mean, everything else sounded great. I love the violent aspect of it, but then you said mature, and I don't know why. That just kind of, it didn't sound like my kind of jam.
It's not definitely. It's anything but mature in the sense that you're thinking. Like, that's for sure. It is not a mature. It's even one of the tags on Steam. The number 2 tag on Steam is funny. It's a funny game. It's very silly and goofy and stupid, but it was mature in the sense of,
Okay,
yes,
I'm
there
back
is
in.
blood and gore.
I'm
There is
back
blood
in.
and gore.
Okay, I'm back in.
Everybody wears
So-
suits and ties. They sit in
Yeah,
board meetings.
very, very interesting game of just like boardroom simulator.
Yeah.
Fun stuff. Alrighty, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us for another week of Super Gamer Boys. We appreciate each and every one of you guys listening through to all of our shenanigans here. Shout out to all you guys who support us over at Patreon. If you want to support us over there, it's patreon.com/supergamerboys, and you can get episodes early and ad-free. Remember, Super Gamer Book Club available now. You can get September's episode, and we are getting ready for November, so look forward to that. You can go over to supergamerboys.com/store, support us over there, get some sweet merch. JJ is wearing his shirt. You can't see it right now because he looks like a maniac in the webcam, and it's frozen again. But over there, yeah, get mugs, shirts, stickers, whatever floats your boat. Support us over there. And more, not so much financially, but that's more of a get the word out there, let people know. You can rate, review us on your favorite podcast apps. Please subscribe on YouTube and hit the thumbs up button. And then during the week, you can find us at supergamerboys.com, Twitter and Instagram at supergamerboys, facebook.com/supergamerboys. I'm over on Twitter at gmorlang. JJ is over on Twitter at
JJ Purdom.
and Zetch is over on the Twitters at
NerdDadZetch. But everybody should know I deleted my Twitter.
Oh, okay. That's new because you were just there like yesterday.
I wasn't there yesterday, was I?
I don't know. I exaggerated. Maybe it was like a couple days ago. I feel like just recently you
Yeah,
had
I
a Twitter
deleted it
account.
like this last week, like on Wednesday or something.
Okay. Oh, dang. Okay.
So I've found a lot more joy in my life.
I've actually found the last week I haven't been on there much at all, actually. Like, it kind of like life just got busy, and I haven't touched it. And it is nice. It is nice still to connect with people, but I'm like, oh, not having to worry about checking that and keeping up with all the crap going on in the world is kind of relaxing as well.
I deleted my Twitter and my Instagram. Although I ended up bringing my Instagram back. But I also deleted my Facebook.
You did your Instagram just like last night, didn't you? Do a story about Gloomhaven? Or
That's what I'm saying.
that's...
I brought it back.
Oh, okay.
I deleted it for like a couple days and then brought it back. And then deleted my TikTok for a couple days. And then brought that back.
I mean, you could just leave TikTok deleted. It's a trash
TikTok
app.
is the best. TikTok, if there is any one social media app that you were like, Zet, you can only have one app on your phone, which one is it? It'd be TikTok. It'd be TikTok all day.
That's surprising.
I agree. It would be TikTok for me as well. I love
See,
it.
Garrett,
It's so good.
Garrett,
I don't know.
this is what your problem is. You need to go on there.
I've wanted to tell him this forever. Oh, Zech, go! I got a list. You first.
Yeah, the thing about TikTok is that you're gonna jump on there, and the first thing you're gonna see is a bunch of stupid teenage girls dancing around to stupid stuff, right?
Yeah, that's all it is, and that's what drives me nuts. Is like because I don't know who to follow, so all my For You page is just full of just like dancing girls. It's like,
Get on there, follow me, follow JJ.
I do follow you. I follow you.
Follow things you like. Follow Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart's got some good stuff. Follow Jim Gaffigan. Follow comedians.
Okay.
Follow. I'll send you some stuff. If you get on there and you follow me, I'll send you good, funny TikToks to watch.
I do follow you. I followed you. You're like the first one I followed because you told me to get on TikTok.
Oh.
But yeah.
Well,
so
I'm sorry, send you stuff, bro.
Send me some stuff because at this point I don't really follow much of anything. There's like just a couple of random funny people I've seen, but like 99% of it is just like girls just doing these different dances. I'm like, this is dumb. Like,
you need to follow...
and because I'm not following anyone new or liking anything, they don't know what to recommend to me, so they just recommend me the base stuff, and it's just like the base stuff sucks. Like, this is so dumb. So
I'm gonna find some stuff.
We don't have to do it right now. Let's finish out the show here. So thank you so much to Star Andrews for our logo. Check her out on Instagram at Ground Floor Graphics, Facebook.com/Ground Floor Graphics, and that's all I have for the show. The end.
Okay, I got nothing. I got nothing. So that was it for the show this week. Thanks so much. I'm sorry that I was frozen so much. But again, don't click the link. Never click the link. All right. That guy over there, the little hobbit-looking one, that one is Zech Keenan. No longer can you find him on Twitter, but you can still find him on some Instagram and, of course, on TikTok.
TikTok. No dead
Doing
Zech.
those TikTok dances.
The captain of the ship, Garrett Morlang, who needs to get a Twitter. And I want to see him doing all of those popular chick dances.
We'll do a
I'm
Super Gamer
JJ
Boy
Purdom,
one.
and we are the Super Gamer Boys.
We'll catch you on the flippity flop.
Mazel tov.